it's Madison from Mad Science here. I know it's been a really long time since I've uploaded any content. It's been about a few years now. But with that being said, I'm back. I'm better than ever. And for today, I have a super interesting and hopefully fun video for you all. Kind of relates to what is going on in the world right now. So stay tuned, stick around, and let's get to it. So, by now you've probably noticed that this tiny germ has taken over the world. I'm talking everyday conversations. You've got phone calls, FaceTimes, texting, social media has been consumed by this tiny microscopic organism that's considered invisible to the naked eye. And you may even be wondering, what did we used to talk about every day? So let's understand, what even is a virus? A virus is a microorganism or a microscopic organism that is an infectious agent which replicates inside living cells such as humans, plants, animals, and even bacteria. On that note, since a virus can infect the bacteria, that means they're even smaller. In fact, when the virus is outside of the host, they exist as a protein coat known as a capsid, as shown here by my friend the virus. So inside this capsid is where the DNA or RNA will exist, and that's basically just the genetic material that kind of tells us what virus we're dealing with. So in humans, our DNA is stored inside of our nucleus, but a virus doesn't have a nucleus. So that protein capsid is very important for keeping all of the genetic material together and inside. However, for some viruses, they will contain a viral envelope, which can be shown by this guy here. And this viral envelope is just going to surround the entire capsid and gives it an easier way to attach onto a host. But the one thing to remember about viruses, they cannot reproduce on their own. They have to have a host. So it kind of puts them in this in-between zone of living and non-living. Overall though, the virus is still active when outside of the host, but not technically alive where it's gonna find you as a target, start to move towards your nose or mouth for you then to inhale it. The virus basically needs the host to do all of the hard part for them so that they can just hitch a ride, get inside our bodies, and start getting down to business. This is why it is very important that you do not touch your face after touching hard surfaces, and to stay away from those who might be infected. Because then we're just giving that little virus an easy way to get inside our bodies. So now that we know some of the technical terms and exactly what a virus is, I'm going to use this photo here and to talk about how the virus infects a host. Specifically, how the influenza virus infects a human host. So, let's break it down. Step 1. To begin, humans have epithelial cells, which basically protect us from viruses. So, as pictured to my left here, this shows the virus breaking through the barrier and will begin to enter the cell. Step 2. After it is engulfed by the cell, basically begins to call the cell home and lives next to our nucleus for just a moment. This process is called endocytosis. Step 3. From there, the virus will remain dormant until it's ready to release its genetic material into the cell's nucleus. This is when the cell becomes infected, because that viral DNA or RNA is beginning to disrupt the host's function. Step 4. Now, once the viral DNA or RNA enters the nucleus, it stays. From there, it's going to begin to reproduce replicates of the viral's genetic material versus normal genetic material of the host. Step 5. Finally, the newly reproduced viral particles will be released into the extracellular fluid, which is just the body fluid outside of the cell. From there, it's going to continue to reproduce and infect the host. And something to note, The cell did not die, it's just now taken over basically by the virus. But the only known treatment to help prevent viruses from entering your body is through vaccines. More on that later this week. So let's go through a preventative measure that you've probably heard a lot about, the science of hand washing. So you may be asking yourself, how is hand washing going to prevent a virus from entering my body? Well, here's what happens. When you lather up your hands with soap and start really scrubbing for 20 seconds, you're actually removing any pathogens found on your hand. And a pathogen is again just a virus, bacteria, or other microscopic organisms. Here's the thing. Soap and the viral envelopes both contain fatty substances, and that's going to allow them to interact with each other. Here's the thing about soap. It's actually acting as an emulsifying agent. Basically, oil and water, they're not going to go together, and they're not going to mix very well either, which explains when you just use water to wash your hands, you're not technically getting extremely clean. So using soap will help suspend or lift the oil and dirt from your hands, and that way they can be washed off and your hands become a little bit more clean. So when you're using force and you're really scrubbing for 20 seconds, the soap interacting with the viral envelope allows it to break it apart so that the pathogen no longer becomes active and can no longer infect your body. So make sure to wash your hands. All right, everybody, that's all I got today on viruses. I hope you all learned something, and I hope you were able to smile while watching this video. I know times like these can seem a little scary, and I'm really hoping a lot of us are social distancing. I know I've had a lot of fear and anxiety when it comes to this whole situation, but I just want to let everyone out there who's feeling the same way I am that we're going to conquer this together, and this will all pass. So if you're new to Mad Science, I just want to say welcome. Thank you for supporting me and joining along in this journey. And I mean, hey, if you want to subscribe, I'm not going to stop you there. So I'm going to end my videos like I always did before. Much love to my science lovers out there, and stay tuned for the next video.